All right. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk crazy to me. Come on. Check. Talk crazy to me. Come on. Yeah, y'all. I know. Uh, uh, uh. I was supposed to be here last night. I know. Come on. Everything is gonna be all right. He's coming back. I'm coming back. Just like he said he would. What up, GQ? Everything is gonna be all right. He's coming back. Just like he said he would. Listen, man, listen. Come on, go ahead. Go ahead, talk to me. Let me. I was supposed to be here last night. I was supposed. Let me tell you what had happened, man. Before the guests come in, I was supposed to be here last night. To Twan Media, come on, brother. Let me explain first. Listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Do I need to tell you the truth? Or you want me to embellish? I'm going to embellish. I got 43 million people other than you waiting on me. I had things to do. I got 43 million people. You see, few hundred in Morris World TV ain't nothing. I got 43 million people that's giving me $10 a month. And you think I got time to come talk to you few hundred of people? Huh? NYC Rider, 43 million. Now, and what? What y'all going unsubscribe? I got 43 million. In my Diddy voice, take that. Take that. But on the real deal is this, family. What had happened was, it was my intentions to bring in Kendrick yesterday. But as you can see on my wall back here, oh yeah, I'm about to talk about that, Michael Connor. As you can see on my wall back here, I was actually doing a virtual, I had a virtual meeting, and it was a virtual meeting for the organization that I am the head of, the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I went in overtime. I went a little bit late. And when I reached out to Kendrick, he actually was, I think he seemed a bit impatient. You know what I mean? And when he seemed a bit impatient, we I don't think we had any conflict because I'm going to try to bring him on this week. But it just seems to me that some people, I see we got our guests in the building. It seems to me that some people don't understand busy. I'm a busy type of guy. You know what I'm saying? And so things don't really schedule up all the time like it's supposed to. And many times on Morse World TV, when I'm ready to invite a guest on, sometimes it falls through. Sometimes it don't go as planned because I'm a super busy person. The brother that we have coming on tonight is another super busy person. We have been talking about him coming on the show for over a month and a half now, but our schedules wasn't able to meet up. I never got mad at him. He never got mad at me because busy understand busy. Busy understand busy. The brother from last night seemed to got mad at me because I was busy. Like I'm really Like my thug brother say, I'm really in these streets. I'm really in these streets. Now I'm really in the community doing something, man. I'm really getting busy. So I really don't have the time to debate back and forth about a YouTube show. This is a YouTube show. Yes, I love to do YouTube. I love my YouTube family, but in reality, family, the real work is on the ground. The real work is in the trenches. And for someone to get upset because a show fell through, I was like, And I know I told him a time, my bad, Kendrick. And we're going to try again this week. But with that being said, family, tonight is a special night. You know what I mean? Tonight is a special night. I got to bring my brother in the studio. I got to bring him. Hey, brother.
Peace and power.
Before you talk, brother, let me say this is an honor. And I'm telling you, y'all might see me well up a little bit. Brother Targeted might well up. Because let me tell you something. I'm the type of brother that really, really love my people without a doubt of contradiction. I really love my people, and I'm ready to fight oppression intelligently. Don't get it twisted. I'm ready to fight oppression intelligently, and I'm ready to defend my people intelligently. But if it go down, it go down. That's where I'm at with it. I don't get caught up in that old Moorish philosophy where y'all might have seen on the internet about filing a piece of paper. I'm not into none of that. I'm into intelligent liberation. That's where I'm at. You know, and man, I'm so humbled and I'm so glad that we have our brother. I'll allow him to introduce himself in a second, and we're going to get into his story. But family, I think it's imperative that you have something to compare to. Me as a leader in my community, in the Moorish Science Temple of America, I have given people something to compare it to. And so when we look at these freedom fighters out here in America, in the hood or in the suburbs or rallying here and rallying there, much of the problem lends itself to that our generations don't have nothing to compare it to. So tonight, we have something to compare it to. What real liberation look like, what real training look like, what real feeding the people, whether it's intellectually, spiritually, or even with a slice of bread. We get something to compare it to tonight. So, brother, I'm going to let the floor, I'm going to let it ride, brother. Please introduce yourself to my people. I ain't going to introduce you. I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself. It's an honor, brother. The floor is yours.
Yo, peace and power. My name is Rakem Balogun from Gorilla Mainframe, Dallas, Texas. I just want to let you guys know that it's definitely an honor to be on the show, to be able to give my input, to humbly give my input, and, you know, just to be able to, you know, vibe amongst my people, you know, so it's definitely a honor, Black power.
Well, let me say this. He's real humble, and I'm not going to be humble with him at this point. This is brother Rakem Balogun. The backstory would be a whole story within itself. You know, the brother is a true freedom fighter. He's a true frontliner. He's a true in the trenches brother. And the story starts off with him coming into the limelight, if you will, over some nonsense. A Facebook post got the feds knocking at your door. Now, before we get to the Facebook post, brother, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself? Where were you? Were you raised in Texas? I know you're from Texas. Where at in Texas? Were you in the military? Do you have military training? Can you give us a little bit of background about yourself? We got Dallas in the building.
Most definitely. Well, yes, I'm definitely from Dallas, Texas. I'm from the inner city of Dallas, Texas, a community called Oak Cliff to be exact. I grew up pretty much the typical inner city experience. I have two parents that were both college educated, who were, stable. So I was able to kind of get a balanced perspective of life. After I graduated from high school, I went to the Marine Corps. While in the Marine Corps, I did one deployment to Iraq with my unit, to Ramadi to be exact. And when I came back, I got into a little static with leadership in my unit. A lot due to me not feeling like I'm being respected as a Black man. And so it caused me to be able to have to separate prematurely with the Marine Corps.
Right.
And so I got out. I moved to Memphis, Tennessee, where I got involved with nonprofit endeavors, working with inner city youth, dealing with gang intervention and stuff like that. At the same time, I was fighting MMA, training with a league called Cage Assault, just continuing on the warrior style lifestyle and training while indulging into my community. But at that time, I hadn't had full ideological development. So, I was working through faith-based groups, things of that nature, until, I had a good friend of mine who I grew up with reach out to me and, educate me on Black nationalism and things of that nature, which I was already previously educated to that, but he just did it in a more prolific manner. And so, that caused me to kind of switch my focus and switch my studies and things of that nature, and I became more African-centered in my approach. A couple years later, I moved to Dallas, Texas, link up with a comrade that I grew up with, which is Rakem Balogun, my brother. And, at that time, he had the organization Guerrilla Mainframe with him, with Yafayo, and other people that was involved doing things in the Dallas, Texas area. So it was just very naturally for me to get involved with that organization. And, with that organization came with my political development, my understanding, as well as getting involved into different endeavors. It taught me certain things such as, mutual aid for the communities, providing services, gave me a very a political analysis through political education, studying different ancestors, elders, and understanding their perspective from a scientific method, and being able to try to apply it to our approach to organizing the people. And so, just doing that over the years, we've been able to come up with different programs, different organizations, such as Huey P. Newton Gun Club. We'll help establish other organizations that's currently functioning in Dallas, numerous organizations. And, we maintain solidarity with them, and we maintain as a group to be able to influence organizations and individuals to maintain a revolutionary path. So that's how we function in today, pretty much working as consultants and working as people who can be able to direct and guide the future for a revolutionary progression.
Indeed. So what is the ultimate goal? Is it, I say that, let me rephrase that. And I don't want to put and with the climate of the day, I may mention, and brother, I really want you to if you feel as though that you really don't want to even get into that area of questioning, don't even touch it. But with the climate of the day, we obviously see these militias, we see these Black Lives Matter, and we see all of these different forms of options, if you will, for liberation. What is the ultimate goal of the groups that you have partnered with and that you're a part of? Is there a goal to serve the community perpetually, or to liberate? What is the ultimate goal?
Well, The ultimate goal for different groups I'm a part of, it varies, because our unity principle varies based off the group. Now, Guerrilla Mainframe, our ultimate goal is to be the arms and legs of the community and the people. We want to be able to educate the people to be able to make their own decisions and determine their own destiny, and aid them on embarking on determining their own destiny and making their own decisions. And so that's how we function, right? But with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, that was pretty much a coalition, which this is a coalition. I must be transparent, because even though these are my brothers, I have love for them and solidarity for them, but I must be transparent. This is a coalition I'm no longer a part of, but I am in solidarity with, and I will, support them along its principle, revolutionary principle, unity. So with this group, our goal was to promote the culture of armed self-defense within the community understanding Second Amendment right to carry, and not only understanding that, but being able to master that with weapon safety, and for just advancing and understanding the weapon itself and being able to put it into application if need to defend oneself or another person in the community. So that's what we unified, though. And that was something that we promoted as a culture. That's why we did open carry marches. A lot of times you guys saw the open carry marches via, a few second videos on social media. But what you didn't see is us passing out Second Amendment, know your rights propaganda, as well as anti-police brutality propaganda, educating the people, as well as developing rapport with the community. A lot of times when we did open carry, we was very engaged with the community, integrated with the community, and we did it as a support with the community. So it would be nothing for us to be walking down the block, maybe 6, 7 deep, fully armed, wearing level 3 protection, and then all of a sudden, an old lady would approach us and give us hugs with our firearms in our hands, or somebody with children to approach us and embrace us and want us to take pictures with their children with our firearms. We function as an aid of the community, and we're for the community. We make sure the community know that when we go out there, we let them know we love them, we support them, and that's what we do. I think about our initial open carry marches. We'll be walking through South Dallas, and those who are not from Dallas, South Dallas is a historical Black community in Dallas, which is majority Black and impoverished. But we'll be walking through South Dallas or Oak Cliff, and we just be letting people know, hey, we love you, we love you. You see us with this gun, but just understand that when we're walking around with this gun amongst our community, it's not to intimidate our community, it's not to have a step above our community, but it's to let the community know that, hey, we're here and we're here to support you. We're here for you, and we try to make that clear and transparent. And if you're not making that clear and transparent, then you're not for the people. Then, and Thomas Sankara said it himself, any soldier that's not politically directed and developed will be a potential criminal. And that's something we don't want to be. We have enough criminals in our community due to poverty. Our people are turned and forced into criminal ways, as well as law enforcement. They come in our community and do criminal things as well. And so we don't want to come in as an authoritative figure. We want to come in as supportive and loving figure. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. Hey, bro, let me tell you this. And I don't know if you've been keeping up with the program because you're so busy, but I have been doing, and this the elephant in the room, if you will. I have been doing presentation on the NFAC and Grandmaster J. And brother, your vibration is just, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's not manufactured. I'm looking at the comments and people can understand your connection to the community and your affection to the community, even with the words that you. I mean, we only been here for a few minutes, and it resonates with the audience that's watching, brother. And I gotta say, I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that because, like I said, I want our audience to see the difference between what is real and what is an illusion, what is a show and what is the actual application of liberation. And liberation is a process, of course. A liberation is a process, and we see that you have been working the process and continue to work the process. So let's go back a little bit and get into the what led the United States government, if you will, to zero in on you during the time. Brother, we're going to take a trip tonight. So I want to start there and get that out the way. What led them to zero in on you in particular to unfold the things that you had to endure? And we'll talk about that shortly.
Well, I'm going to tell you, the white media will want you to believe that it was a Facebook post, okay? But that was not the case, okay? That's the narrative that they push, okay? It was not a Facebook post. Let me tell you something. I have numerous Facebook friends. I'm sure quite a few people tuning in are my Facebook friends because I usually try to occupy all 5,000 spaces on my page. Let me make sure I turn my mic so I can be here clearly. I try to make sure I occupy all 5,000 spaces for pretty much on my page with friends and things of that nature. My posts have not been the type of posts that cause shock value. Trust me. We, those of us who have been on this Black Power scene for quite some time and definitely been on social media for quite some time, would definitely know that following me, my post is usually politically correct. It's not a whole bunch of sensational, crazy rhetoric, aventurism, romanticism, things of that nature. And it was at one point, at some point in time, but it haven't been in a long time. And two, when it was like that, it was never nothing criminating. Okay. It wasn't a Facebook post. Okay. What got the feds watching me was being involved in the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, and particularly one particular event that we had with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. And that's when we faced off with a white militia. Okay. And when we faced off with this white militia, they had the local Dallas Police Department there doing observation and federal government doing surveillance as well. Okay. And in the midst of this surveillance, I'm sure they tapped into our radio comm during this process of dealing and protecting the community from these white racist malicious group, and as well as just following, me around the United States and around my community, listening to my phone calls and things of that nature. So, and seeing, organization, commitment, and being a catalyst to numerous things, so that's what got me arrested. Now, once I got arrested and the feds, and like, this is how it is when you get arrested by the feds, right? It's a little bit different than the state, right? And I would know because I've been arrested for serious charges for both, when you get arrested by the state, they lock you up, take you to court, they get you a bond. After, 2 or 3 days, you get a bond set, or maybe sometimes immediately you get a bond set, and boom, you're able to embark on trying to get free, but it usually take hours, usually a day to get a bond set, with With me, I was immediately, there wasn't no bond set. Immediately once I was arrested and put in cuffs, I was rushed to a federal court, and the federal court immediately decided, gave me a fucking public pretender, and held court on deciding should I get a bond or not. You know, and so in the midst of that, the federal government was saying that, hey, we can't trust him. He's a threat to the community due to the fact that he empathized with Micah X, a Dallas black militant who killed 5 police officers in downtown Dallas on July 7, 2016. So based off of that is they said, hey, because of this post of him showing solidarity and openly showing solidarity, we're going to deny him bond. And it's no amount of money he can pay to get out of jail while pending these charges with the federal government. And so the Vice and other numerous groups, they wanted to spin that, right? Because when they spin this, they have to spin it in a way to where it just touched more than Black conscious people, right? It has to be something that touched everybody to get them to watch the video. So if you say, hey, man arrested in jail due to Facebook post, that makes everybody generally be interested in the conversation and what really happened.
Right.
Okay. And so that's why they did that and spin it that way. But, you know, if you was in court and when the FBI agent who've been following me in Detroit and Dallas and other places that I've been, he would tell you that it was due to numerous things outside of Facebook while I was arrested and targeted. So I just wanted to make that clear and make sure I provided transparency to the community on, you know, why I was arrested and what really happened. Because if it was based off a Facebook post, then you would be in jail too, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right, exactly. So I wanted to just show who you were talking about, just to bring people up to speed. What the brother is referring to as our brother. I thought it was Makai, but I could be corrected as Micah Xavier. I think that was his name, if I'm not mistaken.
Micah Xavier.
Yeah.
Micah X, rest in power.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was our brother who actually went up against the police, and they accused him of taking the lives of police, whatever the case may be. I noticed that, as you said, and I used it myself. I said the Facebook post, because that's when I did my research. That's all you heard about. You know what I mean? You heard very little about, unless you dig deep, you know, after the fact. You know, you hear about your community activism, you hear about your responsible gun owner campaign, because, I mean, you didn't call it that, but that's what you can see after the fact. So when they came to arrest you, if you will, what was the charge?
Illegal possession of a firearm. And so
what was the justification of the illegal possession of a firearm? From a picture, from a, you know, I mean, their justification, obviously they've been watching you, you know what I mean? But what did they use as justification?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because what they used was a situation that dated all the way back to 2005 in Memphis, Tennessee, where an ex-girlfriend who was being very vindictive at the time called the police and lied to the police and said that there was some type of domestic violence taking place in the home with me and her. And so pretty much the case got dismissed and thrown out. And so the federal government tried to say, well, he had a domestic violence case against him. And And so this makes him illegal to own firearms. But the federal judge looked into my case and said, hey, this was not a case of physical domestic violence. It was just a case of a domestic dispute, a verbal domestic dispute. It wasn't no violence
Right.
involved. And so he's able to properly own firearms, and we're wrong on detaining him, and we must release him. And so that's pretty much what happened. I was released. The FBI, the same people who came and raided my home, had to meet up with me, give me all my firearms, ammunition, and everything that they took from me back. That's things of that nature. And so that was the outcome of the situation.
So I've also read in the headlines basically that you spent maybe 6 months. Was it 6 months you spent?
Pretty much, yeah, 6 months. Yes.
And in the process of you fighting it, did you lose? Like for instance, I have a home, I have a vehicle,
yes,
I have responsibility.
Home, vehicle, stability. I just had a newborn daughter, so I lost stability for her, as well as the relationship with my son, and I had an adopted child with me at the time. So it disenfranchised him to where my comrades had to pretty much step in and assist with me being locked up and make sure my children is fine, which that's something I'm grateful to have, is good comrades. Within Guerrilla Mainframe and other organizations. Crystal Muhammad is one of them. You know what I'm saying?
She be here tomorrow night. She will be here tomorrow night.
I'm telling you, like, will have your back through thick and thin.
Hey, family, and that's Rakem. Hey, family, you hear this? Are you aware that Crystal Muhammad be here tomorrow night? Are you aware she been here?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I talked to her before I got on. So
hey, listen, family. When you see a stream of authentic people, and I ain't talking about a YouTube stream, I'm talking about a stream of authentic people here on Moorish World TV. Come on now. You should be able to see the real from the fake now. It shouldn't take a rocket scientist, but I just had to point that out because my mission is so we can separate the wheat from the chaff, the real from the fake, the authentic from the superficial. There you go. So, brother, what you were saying about Sister Crystal Muhammad? You said she had your back thick and thin?
Man, had my back, just being a rider. Ever since I known the sister. Let me tell you something. When I became into the movement, when I was a new boot in this movement, the comrades was already ganging me up about the sister. You know what I'm saying? And they was pretty much stating like, hey, this sister here, she got more nuts than most of these men in the movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
she gonna call it what it is. You know what I mean? She's official like a referee with a whistle. And ever since then, I have seen nothing different. You know what I mean? This is a real sister. You know what I mean? So, and I've seen her that way. She don't bite her fucking tongue. She don't play popularity games.
Oh,
she's just real. She's real, straight to the point, And that's why I deal with her. You know what I mean? She's a real sister. She's been a big sister to me. She's been a great support. Not just her, but a lot of my other comrades, you know what I mean? That are very involved and, just holding me down, and others when we have situation scenarios, So, when you have people like that in your background, that can hold you down, that's what principal unity is. It's all sensational when you're walking around with guns, with people. It's a lot of shock value, things of that nature. But if you're doing what you're really supposed to be doing, it becomes very unpopular with certain individuals. And those individuals will try to get you detained or arrested for something. you know. And so when that happens, you got to be prepared for that psychologically and mentally and spiritually, you know. And when you go through that, you know, you will see who's really in your corner, who's really not, you know. And you know, Sister Crystal, she has been down for not just me but numerous people, you know, and she don't care if it's popular or not. You know, if it's something that's right and that needs to be done, she's going to be down for it. And so that's a principled person. And anybody's principle, I stand in solidarity with 100%. You know what I mean?
100, 100. So, what actually did you had to endure of losing? You lost your home, and um, you lost your home. You had to regain the connection with getting your children back into the home with you and all of that. Did anybody want to accept responsibility for this misappropriation of what they would try to call justice?
Oh, you know, most definitely not. You know, it's always a situation of, you know, oh well, hey, we'll release this person, wash our hands, and step back from it. You know, and whistle and look the other direction. And you know, that's what the state have always done when it comes to disenfranchising black people here in America. You know, they do their dirt, you know, they brutalize us, harm us, and then, you know, they try to act like it never happened, like it never took place. You know, but you know, I use it as a tool to show the contradictions of the state and as something to continue to move forward with. You know, I just look at it like this, man. It's a lot of, you know, for them to come at me and only me, that really showed me a lot and taught me a lot. You know what I mean? And it taught me if you're on that real shit and you push that real shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, they gonna come for you. But if you're on that bullshit, on that fake shit, on that bullshit, cause don't get it twisted. The motherfucking feds and state, they're politically educated as well. And they know what's effective and they know what's not. They know what gets you somewhere and they know what goes down a dead fucking end street. Okay?
Hey, brother,
So,
before we go any further, brother, do you have people are asking how can they support you? Do you have a cash app that I can drop in here or website
oh
or
yeah, most definitely. You know, I got Cash App Balogun Dallas,
brother?
you know.
Can you? I don't know if you can do it while you're on. Can you send it to me through the messenger and I'll copy it and
Oh,
I'll
most definitely. I got two phones, so I
yeah,
can definitely do that.
drop it in me to the messenger family and I support the brother. You know, we're gonna get into his community activism. He's still in the community, he's still helping children, he's still helping his community wherever he may be, wherever you may find him. And so it's very important that we support these causes. You follow me? So let me see if I can real quick because I want to make sure that we support these causes like this, you know. And the thing is, family, I want to also to remind you that uplifting in our community is perpetual. It never stops. And so just because we're on a show here tonight, you know, just because we are on a show here tonight, that doesn't mean that your support starts here and stops here. You know, sometimes when you like, some of y'all might play the lottery, like, man, I didn't just struck for a couple hundred. Let me throw Brother Rakem a few dollars. You know what I mean? It just makes sense. You know what I mean? So I ask that everybody, okay, let me type this in here. I ask that everybody be supportive in this endeavor. So it's $. Right. Give me 1 second, family. Um, Yeah, I just think that it's imperative that we support the real. And like I said, most people think that, okay, when you say Cash App, or whatever the case may be, nobody is begging. Let's be clear about that. But if you support true freedom fighters, if you support someone making sure that a child have a book bag, that a child have a pencil, that I mean, if you support these type of things, you know what I'm saying, and you got an extra $5. If we got 200 people in here and everybody drop a $5 or something like that, man, that can go a long way. And like I do, build it on the ground so we can have our own community. And like just like Michael Connor, he just put $4.99 into the Morse World TV program. That $4.99, I can get 5 paintbrushes. Dollar Tree got paintbrushes. You know what I mean? So we can build this community. So it doesn't take much when we got a lot of us. You follow what I'm saying? So I want
Ashe.
when we got a lot of us, it really doesn't take much. So let me just drop this in here real quick.
I appreciate that, comrade. And I feel like I have not asked enough. Maybe I should ask more, and humble myself.
Hey,
Um,
hey, brother, let me tell you something. People used to always ask me because we building them what is called the Moorish village, and the Moorish village
mhm.
is no different than an African village, no different than what one would call a community of our people, for our people, built by our muscle. That's what we building. You know what I'm saying? And people
Right.
always say, "Well, brother, why don't you tell people to support? Tell us where we can support. Tell us where we can support." And this social media thing can have you feeling like you're begging or something. You know what I'm saying? That's how people try to
Well,
make you
hey,
feel. That's how they people.
listen, at the end of the day, you know, um, this channel need to be supported financially. Um, this is something that's not influenced by big business. This is directly from the people, by the people. This is straight up boo boo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It definitely got to be supported, because one, you bring a different perspective on things that need to be took. One thing I like about you is you're very critical. And as Black people, we must be critical
Absolutely.
in the environment and society that we live in. This definitely not need to be supported. And I wish that people who support me would support you as well. And that's something that definitely need to be done. We definitely need to keep open our perspectives directly from the people, straight from the grassroots. You had some solid people on here, brothers like Delta, brothers like Crystal, numerous people. You know what I mean? And that takes hard work to get those type people on here and to be able to reach out to them and find a way to fit in through our crazy schedules and setups and shit like that.
It's
You
tough.
know, so,
That's why
so
when brothers get mad or sisters get mad when a show falls through because I'm doing something, people don't understand. I'm actually, which I don't put a lot of emphasis on, but I'm actually a leader in my community, like a real leader in my community. Not, and I'm just saying it for the first time here. People really look to me as the one to say, okay, he's going to set the tone, and everybody over here, we're going to set the tone in unison and solidarity with the Grand Sheik, with Brother Tahaka Bey. That's how we move it. I'm that person. And so when I'm not able to do YouTube, people be getting mad, but I'm family, our bread and butter is on the ground.
word.
It's on the ground. That's where it's at. But with that being said, brother, so were you able to maybe come at the people and say, hold up, I need to be reimbursed for what I lost, or do you just chalk it up and keep it moving?
Well, I did a GoFundMe, and the community did support the people as a whole.
Right.
Did support me in my GoFundMe, and there was people who supported me when I was locked up. I had those who supported me major, and I had those who supported me with what they could. You know what I mean? So I was definitely humble and accepted to all the support that I got. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was in the feds, You know, I didn't need for anything. The community made sure, my organization made sure that, hey, I was solid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely thankful for that experience, because a lot of our people, they get locked up and they just get left behind, you know, like left for dead. And that wasn't my situation. And so I'm very thankful for that, because that could have been, you know, I'm a vegetarian locked up in the state, a vegan locked up in the state, you know. So
yes, sir.
man, a lot of stuff that they was feeding, I had to pass on it, and I was hungry for the majority of the time, you know, and still working out every day like a beast, you
Right.
know, because I wanted to show motherfuckers in there that, hey, you know, this black power shit is for real. I'm a real black power nigga. I'm not one of these fakers. You know what I mean? I'm somebody that's real. I work out.
Yes, sir.
I eat right. You know what I'm saying? I do martial art training. I do self-defense training. I stay alert, situational awareness, all that shit. I'm on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to show that shit while I was in there. And the brothers understood and respected that shit while I was in there, you know? So, you know, I was thankful for that, to be able to have influence, to be able to control the direction of the black car. Because in the feds, you know, everything is based off race. All that gang shit, it falls under race. It's race first in the feds. So when you first come to the feds, you come to the black car. You know what I'm saying? And then everything falls under the black car, no matter if you GD, Vice Lord, Crip Blood, or whatever you identify as, or what you repping or represent, some hood stuff, some state shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, so with it being race first, you know, I was somebody that when I came in, when they realized who I was and they seen that was serious, they automatically put me in a high influential position. And, you know, I used that position to influence, you know, some real organized shit within the black community, within the feds, and, you know, to try to influence guys to step their game up, you know, and challenge themselves. You know, and so that's something that comes from the guerrilla mainframe culture. You know, that's something we do here in Dallas, Texas with GMF, Guerrilla Mainframe Dallas. You know, our workouts is something that have not been popular amongst the community. I'm telling you, you know, we're going to do a 3-mile run on nonstop.
That's what I want to talk about. Listen, family. I'm gonna get to the elephant in the room soon. But leading up to the elephant in the room, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these organizations that have stepped out in front of these cameras and looking as if they represent our people. But brother, you guys actually work out. You actually have a target practice or you know, training with firearms with Guerrilla Mainframe and your organization.
Oh, most definitely. It's all about being fit and always be ready, you know, for whatever. Hand-to-hand combat, weapons training, weapons of opportunity, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? We just got to, you know, it's about a culture of being ready. Not just being ready with romanticized militancy, but being ready for it, even political, ideological wise.
Yeah.
You know, being able to understand and analyze, be able to make good decisions that will reflect the best for the black community as a whole, and just the working class as a whole.
So, brother, with all of this influence that I know that you have off camera, have you ever? I don't see you much on social media. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not really a social media type guy. Like,
but that's a setup question too.
I don't try to get. It's like this. If I'm not talking about some revolutionary shit, then my personal opinion doesn't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? It's either revolution or nothing at all.
Hey, brother,
you know what I'm saying? My personal opinion is personal, And you have to be within my personal circle
Right.
to be able to experience that. But until then, you know what I'm saying? When you see me on Facebook, when you see me on YouTube or anything of that nature, it's straight politics and raw politics, and it's revolutionary politics. It's not my personal agenda, but the agenda for the masses and for the people, and that's how I function. Black power.
Hey, brother, let me tell you something. I tell people all the time that this YouTube thing, don't get it twisted. This ain't me. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a guy that do YouTube. It's a big difference because on some personal level, it's a whole nother person outside and that you won't even ever see on this camera. So we can dig that off the top. So I definitely respect that. So, yeah, you know what I mean? It's a whole nother person, you know what I mean, off this camera. But with that being said, um, since you don't do a lot of social media, because I look for you, I'm like, man, this brother must be really getting it in on the ground. Since you're getting it in on the ground, I'm gonna ask you. Somebody said you can learn something from this man at Morse World TV. Morse World TV ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna use Morse World TV for what it's supposed to be used for, to enlighten
Ashe.
and to make brothers aware. That's what I'm going to do, and sisters aware. But since you're not there on social media, you know, proselytizing, if you will. I do know that you are aware and you notice what goes on social media. What do you think about the climate of the liberation movements that has, I don't even want to use the term infiltrated, that have been presented on social media? And I'm gonna get to the elephant. It's the elephant in the room coming up. You know what I mean? Yeah. How do you feel about, when you look at, okay, let me give you an example, bro. Let me talk for 1 second. So whether people understand, because we have a good new audience here, probably not familiar with the Moorish Science Temple of America. But anybody that has been with the channel since the inception of the channel of Moorish World TV was to combat those within our community that was attacking Moors. That was the reason I started the channel. And when I started the channel, I just wanted to respond to those who was disrespected Moors from a social media perspective, not from, killer gorilla perspective. That's a whole nother situation.
Right.
So when I started the channel, that's specifically was what it was for. And as time went on, I'm like, man, we might as well. I kind of liberated the attacks of the Moors. And so now we might as well just go on and just use the research that I've come to be good at and just look at the fakes in our community, the misleading people in our community. And so that's what I started doing. I started interviewing people on and on and on. Long story short, now social media in this era of time has given the image of liberators on social media. And have you witnessed what you stand for and your comrades stand for and what is being played out on social media? No names, but have you been privileged enough to witness the difference?
Well, since this COVID-19 situation have happened and George Floyd all together, we've seen a lot of political theater that have taken place within the Black militant community. But I can't place the blame on those who were involved in the political theater at the time. The blame exists prior to them, of those who previously committed political theater. This is the thing. We're in a culture that Black militancy, due to us being disorganized, not being politically directed as a collective, and not understanding what to prioritize and what not to prioritize, was what created this problem. And we have became a movement that's based off of sensationalism, numbers, putting on a show, and just focus on shit that look good on camera. But it's only for camera. You know, it's not a 365, 366 a leap year type of sensationalism that's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so now you have those who have stepped into that culture and taken that and exploited it at a perfect time, you know, and they do the same thing, but they don't represent certain organizations that are already in place. You know, it's a problem. You
Right.
know, I think any organization that's not politically educated, that does not have a real political, transparent direction on what they want and the things that they're trying to accomplish and how they're going to accomplish it, is a problem, period. Something about my organization has not been, one thing about my organization has not been popular is the political education aspect of it. We have had numerous people involved. Okay. We have numerous people that have been involved for years, set in numerous political education facilitations, and still does not have political education to today. So, with that being said, it's that when you don't have political education, then you go on from your own understanding. And your own understanding is going to be based off your ego. And it's going to serve your ego. But on the guise of Black power, if you know what I mean. This is a culture that's been going on here that since I've been involved in the movement. You know, there have been new organizations to exploit that culture, but they're not the first organization to do that. You know, so we have to come to a point where we ask ourselves is, what are real revolutionary organizations? And what do a real revolutionary organization look like? How does it function? And what is its principles?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, sir, brother. Woo! Bro, that's why I brought you on the show. That's why I sought you out. That's why I was patient, because that's what it's about right there. Right there. What does a real revolutionary organization for the liberation of our people look like? And let me just indulge me for 1 second. I make radical statements as it relates to white power organization or white supremacist organizational structures. And when I look at people, like they got a guy on the internet now called Angry Viking, and I look at him, he just want to be like a superhero type European. But then when you look at like Ruby Ridge and you look at the European so-called white militia that had the standoff in Texas and
Ted Bundy. Oh, wait, in Nevada?
in Nevada.
Yeah, Bundy.
Yeah, these type of militias right there, they're not on social media trying to be Lion-O, as well as, and I don't support these white supremacist militias at all. But I'm just saying, at least you have something to measure to when you look at Angry Viking looking like he what's that Lion-O, he had the cat in from back in the day. I forget that cartoon name, but whatever. Look like a cartoon character for 2020, if you will. You know, so when I look at this stuff, I'm like, man, why don't these Europeans are falling into the trap? And then I'm like, hold up, wait a minute.
Right.
We are also falling into a trap of an illusion of a movie. You follow what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Of a movie. You know what I'm saying? So if you could describe the Thundercats. That's right, the Thundercat. What was the Thundercat man name? That's Angry Viking.
uh,
That's right.
yeah, it's a lot of these personalities that's being born during this political theater culture that we have been having since COVID-19 and the whole election period of Trump and Biden. But we gotta be able to recognize the real from the fake. You know, those type individuals, angry Viking, just like we have our individuals on the Black nationalist side. Those are put in place to push this toxic masculine ego amongst these particular nations and states, amongst the people, that's not something that reflects the masses, the masses of white men do not walk around looking like that or acting like that, talking like that. Trust me.
Exactly.
I run into them on a daily basis, and they do not have that type of energy. That's an energy that they want to promote in the image that they want to promote amongst, white people. We know that. Just like with us, with this whole Black militant movement, this is something that we have taken our time and invested in building this culture and this identity. And, this is something that the media have been wanting to water down, trying to find ways to water down. And they definitely want to be able to try to exploit us as something that we're not. And that's something that I know from my particular fashion we have not done. One, whenever we have dealt with these media groups, we do not change our narrative. We do not change our mentality. And two, when we deal with these media groups, we're still confrontational with police. We don't deal with these media groups. We let these media groups know you deal with us, you might get caught up in between some shit. Just like we had an open carry march for Botham Jean, October 2018. And we had Comedy Central with us. And Comedy Central was pretty much shooting a documentary on Botham Jean's death. And it was like a dark political satire documentary. And pretty much their narrative was exposing as, hey, Black militants is not as bad as white America presents, the whole white liberal perspective on shit. So, we was involved in that. And one thing with us is that we keep our politics confidential. Confrontational, but it's not confrontational by any means. We're not going to sacrifice ourselves or sacrifice the community unless that's something that we're ready for and we agreed on as a collective, which we're nowhere near that. Exactly. So, pretty much, we was embarking on the fairgrounds and the police tried to stop us from the fairgrounds. And, we gave them a hard time and letting them know, like, hey, we're going to still force our way through there. We wish we didn't, but we still gave them a hard time of the confrontation, And so one thing with us, we have never been guerrilla mainframe, have never been diplomatic with police. We're not going to cooperate. We're not going to give them information on what we're doing. We're not going to even make it convenient for them to even coordinate with us.
Brother, you set me up, Rakem. You set me up now. Now, listen. I've done shows where now I got to bring it out now. I've done shows referencing NFAC. You know what I'm saying? Now let me ask you first of all, are you in solidarity, in support, or with do you have a relationship with NFAC? I gotta ask. This has been the NFAC network.
No, I don't have a relationship with them. That is like a new fashion, you know. That's not something that has been
Hold up,
in
hold up.
existence.
I'm gonna be imitating you in the days to come. I'm gonna ask a serious question, and then I'm gonna just break up. I'm gonna be laughing, then I'm gonna be like, "That's just a new fashion." Like you so serious, so sincere. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I'm
could.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm somebody who's been boots on the ground nationally and involved with other comrades who've been boots on the ground nationally for over a decade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know who's popping. I know who's not. I know who just popped out of nowhere. I know, then they have they have a few individuals who've been involved with organizations and networks previously over the time, but as a collective and as their leadership, that's definitely some new shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? That's definitely some new shit. And anybody that disagree with that shit is a motherfucking stone faced liar. I'll tell it to you in your face. You know, and if there's something that was in existence previously, it was in pretty much non-existent mode, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. So with that question being said, bro, you was just so straight faced with that. I'm a
Oh
little
yeah, I'm just straight face, you
like,
know.
straight
I'm
raw.
not gonna bullshit. Let me tell you something.
Hey, brother, I can appreciate that. I got a homeboy like
It's
that,
like
right?
this.
Look, I'm a funny guy. Right? I like to joke and play. I got a homeboy I be joking with. His name is Big E. Big E been in the streets. He's still in the streets. He's 40-some years old. I be like, Big E, you ain't gonna kill nothing. And I be elbowing. He a big dude. You ain't gonna kill nothing, Big E. He be like, don't play. So I love a serious brother, but what you were saying, brother?
This is my perspective of them. You know, I do give them an A for effort for organizing the masses of black men and women to participate in their endeavors. Like this is something that they did have a lot of shock value, and I'm not going to take that away.
Absolutely.
Over the last couple months, they have had a lot of shock value, and I must commend all them brothers who was involved and influential in that. You know, you had one of them that was involved on the show, and so you know, I salute and give them, you know, their credit for that. Um, my perspective is not anti or pro. I'm pro revolution and the culture of real revolution, not sensationalized revolution, romanticized revolution, or some pseudo revolution that exists only in a few individual heads. But involved. I support scientific revolution.
Absolutely. So that's what I
And
was going
so,
to ask you. But and as you go on, by the scientific revolution, I want you to
mhm.
chime in about interacting with the police in this scientific revolution. Does that has a part? Does that play a part in correlating or fraternizing or even organizing your program with the police in revolution?
Well, it's equivalent to being a manager over a shift, about 50 people, and you have a 22-year-old female that you're very close to and you're hanging out with and they're hanging out in your office. That's like what it's like, you know, cooperating with police to a certain extent, posing as a black militant, masculine revolutionary organization.
Right.
It makes you look questionable. And it makes you ask, is your goal is just to be able to pull this off and so you can be able to get media attention, or do you really want to take a real revolutionary um, do you really want to take a real revolutionary stance and be anti-state? Now, it's like this. I've done numerous open carry patrols, and you ain't gonna be able to just walk around with black guys with guns, and the police not gonna follow you. Let me make that clear, okay? Even if you're participating or you're not participating, it's not gonna happen. Now we have done it, on a small scale. I've been out on the block at 12 o'clock at night, AK-47 with hood cats smoking blunts and they drinking beers and all that type stuff. And we in the hood posted like hosters, but we have maybe only been maybe like 5 or 6 deep. But when you're showing up like real deep with firearms, like 20, 30, 40 deep, they're going to escort you, and even if you get a permit or not. Now, our experience is when it comes to that, when they have tried to escort us, we tell them, hey, we don't need no escort. And so they'll just follow us, to where we go, one way or another. But we don't believe in cooperating with the pigs. And I can find some videos of us doing open carry patrols in South Dallas with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, with me, Babu, and Yafeo, and we're walking, and police walk up on us, and they're trying to get us to cooperate with them, and I'm the first one with the shit. Okay, so how can we get the people to trust us, and we're not fully independent, or we can't function as an independent entity? I can't. Let me tell you something. If you're not willing to take a stance against the state, me personally, I'm not gonna respect you.
Right.
Okay. And to me, you look like pussy.
Man, one of the things,
just straight up,
brother, one of the things that I noticed, that all of those brothers and sisters that was inspired to do these marches, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't, man, give me them numbers. I don't need no permit. I'm pulling up.
Pretty much. This our streets. This our streets.
Those numbers, I need a permit with those numbers. With those numbers that we have witnessed. Nah. And I don't believe that I fit the criteria of a quote unquote black militant. But I do know without a doubt of contradiction, if it came to me making a stand for our people, man, I'm really, you know what I mean? If we was moving, we moving. Pull up. Let's just pull up. Period, point blank. So with that being said, as we look around the country right now, and we keep seeing this same old scenario played out. These marches. How do you feel about all these marches? Oh, my brother camera went off. Uh-oh. What happened? You there, big bro? I think his camera went off. But nevertheless, family, everybody thumbs up the video for me. I think the brother might be still getting straight. Everybody should be thumbsing up the video. You follow me? Or the brother back? Yeah, everybody should be thumbsing up the video, making sure that it go around, and always leave a comment, family. Always leave a comment in the comment section after the chat, because what that does in YouTube world, that gives the algorithms of the video to go around so people can be awakened and enlightened and informed. So I ask that you thumbs up, number one. Number two, make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section once the video is out. Once the video goes up. So, brother, what do you feel must be done to combat the sensationalism of militant? I guess we would call it this is the sensationalization of being militant. How do we combat that?
Well, only time will combat that, right? Because with the whole thing with the pseudo militancy, you can only do so many open carry marches. And eventually people get tired of that. Like, this is something that's new. So
Right.
it's a few months in. So, it does have a lot of shock value. I give them credit for that. I don't want to take that from them, but at the same time, a year from now, it will not have shock value. So you have to be very, the thing about being a organizer in 2020, you're pretty much a political engineer, and you have to come up with innovative and creative ways to get people involved and committed to the culture of revolution. And, initially sensation, it does give people attention and get them attached, but it's not going to keep them attached. And so you have to evolve your tactics, your strategies, and things of that nature, where people will feel that you're real progressive movements to continue to move forward. And that's a struggle. It's a struggle to maintain people attention. Anybody can get the masses' attention. We have seen thousands of people in America, hundreds of thousands of people in America go viral, correct?
Absolutely.
But how many people maintain that attention a year from now, 2 years from now, three
That's
years from
right.
now? And
That's
let me tell you something, showing up in black communities with a whole bunch of guns, I'm gonna tell you something. Where I'm from, niggas are already strapped, right? And I'm saying the word nigga, right? Because I'm from the hood,
you
from
good.
Oak Cliff. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing about it is, I remember when we faced off with Barrett, and that's the situation that got me watched by the feds. When we faced off with them, we had Crips showing up, we had Blood showing up, old ladies showing up. We had everybody showing up with their straps. Because we went out and passed out propaganda to the community. Brothers like myself, brothers like Eric Randall, Yafeyo, numerous people, Ricky Perry, Osiris, Robert Taylor, numerous people is just involved in this endeavor, canvassing the community and passing out propaganda. And not only while we're doing that, we're training for this event going on. Because we don't just do these events and just, hey, everybody meet up. We show up at this time. We're going to do a roll call and jump this shit off. We train for our shit. You know what I'm saying? We train for our shit weeks ahead of time. We're trained over different situations, scenarios. We're trained over communication. We're drilling. Numerous things about this shit, man. It ain't no sensational lights, camera, action type shit. That's something that I refuse to be involved in from coming from the culture I come from, the hood, the Marine Corps culture, and just being a Black Power motherfucker, studying niggas like Geronimo Pratt and other elders such as that. I refuse to be a reactionary person. That I feel like if there's some way we can prepare for this stuff, drill, train, and get on point, then that's something I'm gonna push. So the feds, when they see that you're about that type stuff, they see you as a threat, and they're looking for ways to get you detained, get you locked up, and get you railroaded if they're able to do that. And so that's something we have done. Um, Groups that I see today are not doing that as much. I'm sure a few of them are, but they're not doing it as a collective. Um, One thing that I want is a real revolutionary group, not a pretend revolutionary group, but we want a real revolutionary group, a group that we call infinity groups, where everybody know each other. Let me tell you something about GMF. We all are connected from each other. Now, I grew up with Chairman Eric, but the other comrades, like if we sit here and broke it down to you, you would see like, hey, our families are connected to each other. Our friends are connected to their friends. We're a real affinity group. You know what I'm saying? We know where we come from. You know what I'm saying? We got our family members we can call and they can tell you about this person when they were 6 years old. We're one of those type groups. You ain't gonna fucking infiltrate us easily. You're gonna have to fucking arrest us. You know what I'm saying? And then too, when we organize with additional people, we get to know you very well. We go to your fucking home. You come to our fucking home.
But we about to talk about it.
It ain't no, oh, we just meet up this generalized location. We in fake solidarity for these few hours and we're going to tote guns and protect each other's lives. Like, that's going to naturally happen. I've been in the military. That does not naturally happen. When shit hit the fucking fan, if you're not naturally in solidarity with somebody, you're going to do what's good for you. Okay? If you don't have real solidarity amongst your ranks, if you don't have real solidarity amongst your people, if y'all get tried, then you're gonna see what really happens. You know what I'm saying? And you're an easy vulnerable target.
Hey, brother, I want to just add to this. You know, there's some tragic stories that have not graced the Morse World TV platform yet. Some of these tragedies are, you know, the when you're dealing with the NFAC, if you will, firearms going off, people getting shot. You know what amazes to me is that no one never asked, well, what happened to those people who was mistakenly shot when those firearms discharged? Nobody asked that question yet. I haven't seen it on the internet yet. No one asked the question.
I haven't even seen a GoFundMe for these people. Like, these people are treated like their lives do not matter. Fuck them. We moving forward. It's about us. And that's what I see, man. You know?
I'm telling you, believe it or not, that's exactly what happened. I know firsthand. And I don't want to put the story out yet because, you know, people that get involved in those situations are not sure as to the response to the perpetrator, the faker. You know what I'm saying? So they like, you know, I'm going to be low key, but this is what happened to me. From your perspective, you said your neighborhood knows you. You've been active in your neighborhood. You've been active, you know,
in other cities and states as well.
You've been active. I want to. This is a loaded question, but I really think people need to try to understand that in order for one to be a leader of any organization, they have to be validated at least by where they come from.
Not in today's time, because in 2020, we live in a microwave society. And I hate to say it, but we're here. Brother Bay, we're here, man.
I say that because of this. This is what I believe. I can't say I'm 100% correct on it. But if a group like NFAC came to Baltimore walking down Pennsylvania Avenue, I would bet $1 to a bucket of poop that them young boys is going to figure out how to get them weapons out their hand and take them back to the hood. They want to figure this thing out. This is just how raw Baltimore is. Because they're not from Baltimore. It's not because they're weak or anything, because I don't know these brothers. But because you're not going to show up in Baltimore, not being from Baltimore, acting as if you are a threat to anything in Baltimore. Baltimore is just ratchet like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I know people know me. And so if I wanted to organize in Baltimore, it would be quite easy. How did we get to the point where as though anybody can show up in some of these cities and nobody questioned the authenticity? And I know you said microwave, but anything else you can add to that conversation?
Well, I got to elaborate on microwave.
Yes.
You know, I got to elaborate on microwave because that's the society we live in. You know, we have microwave personal trainers. We have microwave experts in different subject matters. You know, that's just the time that we live in. Everything is, you know, 1 minute. Right now, there's a whole bunch of microwave political correspondents and experts on social media right? But we already know 6 months from now, they're going to be microwave experts in another field. That's just you know, we live in a environment where information is at our thumbs in a matter of milliseconds. we're able to get that information, and we're able to convey and pretty much, you know, we pretty much feeling secondhand information. And so with organizing, you know, the community have seen numerous, over the last 10 years, numerous Black militia, Black Panther image type organizations function around the country, you know. And so, but it's so many different fashions, so many different ideologies, different approach and stuff like that. The community don't know who's from who, and they just see us all as the same. And so that creates an opportunity for anybody to put on all black, put on guns, use certain type of rhetoric to be able to galvanize the people and see them as a real thing. And you know, right now, when you think of COVID-19, this is how I really feel. I feel like the brothers who have recently been doing open carry patrols and taking advantage of the sensationalism. You know, they did one thing that that Chairman Bobby of the Black Panther Party did, was seize the time. And they seized the time. And the criticism not just go on them, but it goes on others who did not seize the time, such as myself and other individuals. We should have been available and ready to seize the time. So when people are unemployed, disenfranchised, scared, and discontent, to where they had something that they can rely and lean on and support. Obviously, we failed in doing that, but others may not fail in doing that, but our agendas may not be the same.
And I want to add this to the defense. I mean, I'm not going to make a justification, but I do understand your point of view. But to the defense of what you're saying, these new microwave revolutionaries are opportunists too. They wait for the opportunity to present itself so they can present themselves to the people. They're waiting for somebody to get murdered. Grandmaster Jay right now, oh, did I say that? Is waiting for the next tragedy to happen. That is going to be. Now, we have many tragedies that have happened before. I mean,
but Brother Bay, to think about it, before the Grandmaster Jay, right? We already had those doing it. We had attorneys doing it.
Right. There you go. There you go.
We had attorneys doing it. You see them on everybody motherfucking case.
That's right.
And they settling out. They're not even pushing the case and pushing on case law to shit to run president.
Oh no,
from here on out.
They're trying to settle out and get a check and keep it moving.
Get that check, keep it pushing. They on everybody's case.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. You know, some do it with the law book in their hand, some do it with the gun in their hand. But it's all opportunism and it's all exploitation, and all that shit need to be called out. All that shit. It's not just in fact that they have discrepancies, and I acknowledge that. But we have these same black attorneys, these Crumps, these Merritts, and et cetera, where all they want to do is chase a motherfucking bag and chase a fucking ambulance. You know what I'm saying? And so we have a whole bunch of culture vultures. Some of them are intentional, some of them are not intentional. You know, but majority of them are intentional culture vultures. You know, and so we got to bring a light to all this fucking shit that's been going on. You know, people exploiting our emotions and our reactions and our generosity and being genuine for their own personal wish and goals.
And to my point, and to that point, what I was doing is, and I got a show that I'm gonna come up, and I'm coming up soon, and I want to enlighten people to all the murders that have taken place. It stinks of oppression. It stinks of white supremacy. It stinks of the same old thing since Breonna Taylor. And no one is making a fuss because the news media haven't jumped on it. The moment that the news media sensationalize it, then here we go with these organizations all of a sudden want to march beside it.
Right, right.
And this is the sad part of our fight, the opportunists. So, and coming into the future, do you think your organization will be planning to do more as it relates to being out front so that people won't be confused to the fake stuff out front?
Well, my organization, we have evolved our way of organizing and our way of moving forward. We have been in the position to be in the place that we've been in the position to be in the place to where we can influence other organizations that have came into place within the last couple months. The organizations that have the same age of INFAC and other groups that came into play around that same time. And so what we do is serve as consultants and influence and aid physically, mentally, and spiritually aid them in their approach. And these are organizations that are grown out of our organizations. You know what I mean? So we're able to step into that age of elderhood and things of that nature. And I'm only, just to be honest and transparent, I'm only 36 years old.
Right.
But the thing about it is this: when we came in this, we didn't have nobody to elder us per se. We had elders who came along as we organized, but by that time we was already established, and we was able to use their consultation to advise us to continue to move forward in a revolutionary manner. But at the same time, we didn't have that. And so what we try to be the one is to be the one to provide that for other groups. And not only we provide that, but we're trying to provide other opportunities for us, helping institutionalize a real revolutionary movement for Black people to be able to determine their own destiny as a whole. We don't want to be the ones who make the decisions for Black people. We want to be able to bring the information to Black people, educate them, and give them the opportunity to determine their own destiny and be able to support them in that and pushing that. And so we do that with the different campaigns we do in our community. Man, this campaigns dealing. Mm-hmm.
So why haven't I seen you do like a morning brain show or something?
Well, I actually have a podcast.
I'm talking on YouTube, like, this is the morning brain.
Well, I actually have a podcast. We have a podcast that's in the process of being that's about to present itself. As you see, I have podcast material, stuff like this. But unfortunately, I've been working a lot to support myself. I have a case that's pending from defending myself from a racist. And this is something that I have not even really talked about very heavily amongst, my social media group. And I can't really talk about it too much, but I am pending a case for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon from defending myself from a racist. Because one thing about me, and I will say this, one thing about me is that I'm not a pretendo whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? If I feel threatened and my life is in danger, the father of Harmony and Caleb and Buddha will not be the one that you're going to see be laying on the ground without defending himself. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's for anybody, white, Black, Asian, Hispanic, that's anybody. I will defend myself by any means necessary. Okay. And, so I have a case that's pending. I have to fund that case myself, fund the attorneys and things of that nature. I have to work a lot of hours, so that's what I've been doing.
Well,
I
brother,
don't beg. I don't beg the community for shit. I will let them know that this is what I got going. You can support. But meanwhile, I determine my own destiny as the Black man that I am. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I've been focusing on working 85 hours a week,
Hey, bro, I feel you, bro. And like I say, many people don't understand, but I've shared my story maybe a few times on here, man. I'm really about my people, man. And I had them bracelets put on me from putting them hands on one of them people's outside of our group, man, for calling them to be in line. At one thing that really blows me away, we'll watch somebody curse our women out, and we be in the grocery store and you like, it ain't my business. And at this time it became my business. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly. ASAP.
It became
ASAP.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, cameras everywhere. I had to eat that one, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, and they caught it on camera. It looked pretty bad, because
it always looked bad on camera. You know what I mean? They don't know how it looked from our eyes, though.
Yeah, it
you know what
I'm saying? And so family, if you can, I got the brother Cash App there. You know what I mean? Rakem Balogun. But I'm saying it right?
It's actually Balogun. Balogun. Oh, you can say Balogun just to be exact. Balogun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a Yoruba Nigerian name that stands for war chief. It comes from the Yoruba culture, which I'm born in America. But it's just something that we use to identify ourselves as Black people.
That's
in our particular tribe of guerrilla mainframe of those who are committed to the revolutionary culture. So it's pretty much the oath to take this name.
Okay, so family, let me see. Somebody say I can't get a comment through. My feed is cutting off. Let me see what he said. I don't see anybody from Dallas. If mine cut off, it's been a pleasure tonight. Well, Jeff Stevens, I hope you're not getting cut off. I've been seeing you. I didn't see your comments though. But if you would like to leave a comment, leave it now, and I keep my eyes open for it and share it with the brother. So brother, I definitely enjoyed and I appreciate this. I just want to get like 15 more minutes of your time, brother. But I need you to give me your word, brother, when you start the podcast. Bro, you gotta come here and let me help you kick it off so I can do my part, and help expanding the real information. I want to do my part. When I look at even Sister Crystal Muhammad, she said she never did YouTube like that, but now she's ready, gearing up to hopefully do a YouTube channel. And I always encourage our brothers and sisters who are real, jump on this social media, because if we don't, the lies are going to supersede the truth.
Ashe. I agree with that. And that's why I take responsibility for those who can come manipulate the people, because those who are genuine, sincere, or that we feel are genuine, sincere, have not made ourselves available. And we take that criticism, and that's something that we have to take that criticism and continue to move forward. But, and Black Light, appreciate it, brother. Shout out to you for shouting out Oak Cliff in our community. Shout out to you and wherever you're from. Just understand this solidarity is bigger than Oak Cliff. It's bigger than Dallas. It's bigger than Texas. It's bigger than the United States. This solidarity is across the nation. I'm definitely a Pan-Africanist. I identify with all melanated people, and all, not just melanated people, but all people of oppression as a whole, because if where injustice exists, then it's a threat to justice everywhere. And so injustice only grows. And so we gotta eradicate that shit immediately. You know what I mean? No matter if it's white, Black, or whatever, but it will be eradicated. And that's the culture that we're gonna promote. And that's what you're gonna see from my podcast that we will be pushing. So you that will be happening. You're going to see not just me, but other Baloguns in the podcast. My comrade Robert Taylor Balogun, aka Uhuru Balogun. He's gonna be in the place. We're gonna have my brother Eric Coffray Balogun, the chairman of Gorilla Mainframe, and also a co-founder of Gorilla Mainframe. He's gonna be on there. My sister, which she's a Balogun as well, Tiffany Billions. She's on Facebook. You can find her on Billions TV. She's going to be on there from time to time as well. And we're just going to be pretty much promoting a real revolutionary culture. We're going to be discussing current and historical revolutionary topics. We're going to be analyzing it. We're going to be educating ourselves as well as educating the people. And so that's something we're going to be about. We're going to be bringing that real revolutionary scientific perspective, because we want to challenge our people to take on.
Let me say this. I want to thank Beverly Hillbilly Pepper made a donation to the channel for $200. I don't know, getting prepping and blessed time to smoke this Kush. Now, I'm a Moorish American Muslim. I don't smoke no Kush, but if Kush leads you to donate to the channel, then do what you. I'm just playing. Shout out to Beverly Hillbilly Pepper.
Hey, man. Hey, it sounds like to me that they're supporting your that you need to get you some Kush. That's the ancestors moving you towards it. I understand with your job, you can't be doing it. That might be from the ancestors, man, communicating something to you, man. And
then I got my brother Serving and Collecting. He should be around your way. I think. No, he from Dallas. He from Houston.
Yeah, he from H-Town.
Yeah.
Yo, much solidarity, Serve and Collect. Appreciate your support for the channel, man.
You familiar with Serving and Collecting? Oh yeah.
No. I'm just expressing my solidarity with him. You know what I'm saying?
That's my bro. Yes, sir.
He support. Anybody. Let me tell you something, man. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been defending women in the middle of the night. I've been, on call response from picking up trash to all type of stuff, man. And to get somebody to actually support, I've had very little support. You know what I'm saying? So when you get people that actually support your movement and the things of that nature, they must be, we must show them my gratitude, because, it's not easy and convenient to support, so.
And you know what, brother, I definitely have to agree with you. I've been doing this, and I didn't cheat in doing this. Most people do these YouTube channels. They cheat. They buy subscribers. They buy likes. I didn't cheat. I just go ahead and let my personality be my personality. So to have brothers such as yourself on here, sisters like Crystal Muhammad, and on and on and on. Brother Ishmael Bey, brother, what's the brother name? I know Crystal Muhammad and him may have a discussion on the show. Brother Left the Panther, I forget his name off the top. Malik Zulu Shabazz and
right.
Dr. Wesley Muhammad, the brother, my brother from Brand Nubian, Lord Jamal. Man, I'm just a regular guy, man. And man,
those are some names though. Those are some pretty strong names in this community, so.
Yeah, bro, but I definitely appreciate you taking the time, bro, to come on here. But now let me just ask you a few more questions. I don't see no question here. Oh yeah, and we got Quincy Robinson L. He's from around your way. Yeah, he's from in that.
Yo, peace and power, brother. You can definitely always reach out to me, Rakem Balogun, Instagram, Facebook. And this for anybody. Anybody that's in the community. You see my comrade Robert Taylor on there. That's one of the Baloguns. You know what I'm saying? Follow him too, Robert Taylor, Uhuru Balogun.
And I definitely need you when you ready to kick off your podcast. My thing is, I think we should always cross promote positivity, and we should always cross promote true militancy. You know what I'm saying?
Always
promote that, and don't and I tell people, my brothers and sisters that's watching Moorish World TV, if you have anything you want to know about Moorish, you come to your guy. Don't get it off the internet. Come to your guy.
Right.
Because that stuff be fake and phony, just like my brother was talking about this sensationalism as it relates to these fake revolutionaries. It's be fake and phony. The internet ain't that real. It's a small
Right.
that's real. So let me wrap it up with this, brother. Were you dispatched to do any of the marches that came about with the groups that went marching in Louisville as well as Louisiana?
You asked me, was I invited?
Yeah. Anybody ever invite you or your
Well, I'm not within that network of those type guys. Like we're all in a big network, but those type guys, I'm not in their network because I'm gonna be honest with you. The guerrilla mainframe approach to black militancy is not a popular approach. It's too goddamn scientific. Motherfuckers don't want to be scientific. They just want to be reactionary and emotional. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to be, only people that approach us are people who are very serious on shit and understand that when you do approach us and ask us to get involved, we will have questions, and these questions will have a reflection on what's the political approach to this, and does it follow a real revolutionary ideology? And so people know that that's what's going to happen with us, so they don't call us on reactionary shit. We own the media chasing shit. If we do some media chasing shit, we're gonna do it for ourselves, not for anybody else. And we're gonna be pushing our own agenda and our own objective. And so no, I would never get a call for that unless it was locally. I probably would get a call. But those who were involved in that, those are not people in my network. Those are people that I've never had direct conversation relationship with. I've been around maybe one or two individuals in the past of our earlier open carry marches, which that I was in leadership and facilitating, and maybe they was just there in attendance and in solidarity. But for us having relationship with those individuals, no. I'm not saying that I'm better than them or they're less than me or anything of that nature. It's just that I'm not the type of person that's known to be called on stuff like that.
Right.
I'm the person. It has to be in a revolutionary perspective. It has to be able to be explained how this is going to benefit the people. Okay. And it's a reason why I have not been involved in open carry over the years. And the reason why is because I feel like with initially doing open carry, we did a great job of educating the people and getting the point across of Second Amendment rights and stuff like that. But besides that, I don't think it has a real agenda. Because if it's not protecting the black community from the police, especially when you're getting escorted by police, then why do I need to be walking around with a fucking gun out? I don't need to walk. Let me tell you something. I got 20 years martial art experience. So now don't get it twisted. I prefer to have firearm, knife, and et cetera, when I walk around. But if I don't have that, I'm still content with myself. And I can defend myself very confidently. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, when we bring guns into place, we don't want to have a community where we're just doing excessive militarizing with no real transparent agenda on what we're trying to accomplish. Because that's really just showing off my cool gun. That's no different than a Crip or Blood nigga in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to show up with this, then it has to be for a solidified reason. It has to be for a reason that the community benefits from. The community is not benefiting from, then we will not be involved in that moving on forward. That's why you're not seeing me walk around with no guns.
Right. Woo, brother. You so someone said, how do you suggest, Todd Williams said, how do you suggest we get our people on the same code that is of the ancestors?
Well, to do that, we got to be able to be humble, humility, and just having integrity. That must be certain things that you got to step to this with. If you don't have no humility and integrity stepping into the Black liberation movement, then you're not for Black liberation, you're for Black imperialism. You have to be genuine, sincere. So everybody that comes as a put on Black Panther cosplay or whatever does not have the best interest of the Black communities. If they do not have the best interest of the Black community, then we must cop that they're no different than Crip, Bloods, GDs, Vice Lords, or any drug dealing, gang banging type entity. It's just another entity that exists in our community that is not productive in the growth and development of Black people.
All right. Oh my goodness. So my brother said, you know what? I get so excited, but you articulate. I don't even want to talk no more. I ain't talking no more. I'm gonna just say it for me, brother. Say it for me, brother. Cause you be saying, man, you be putting it down so smooth. Quincy Robinson, now that's my brother. He's a sheik out there in Dallas. He said, ask him, do he do fitness training and where? Because he's in Dallas also. As I said, that's my brother, my close brother out there in Dallas.
Yo, Quincy, reach out to me, brother. Rakem Balogun, Facebook, Instagram. I do training. I will start back doing training on a regular basis due to I just came off of working 10 weeks, 7 days straight, working like an average 90 hours a week. I was not available to that. But I do training, and my training is close quarter combat, situational awareness. It is mixed martial arts. It's not limited to boxing. It consists of knife, stick, gun, disarm, kick, punch, elbow, knee, and clinch, takedown, etc., etc., etc.
Read that one, brother. Hold on. Hold me to cut your wisdom. Read that one.
Oh, ask if I'm single. Oh no, I'm not single. I'm not single. Unfortunately, fortunately.
Don't get no trouble.
I know, right?
Babe.
Fortunately,
I'm not on Montreal TV no more because I don't understand what you was just saying.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I got a great Black woman who, pretty much have taking me as is, with all the federal, with all the federal surveillance, the current charges, felony charges that's pending, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I got a woman that's loved me through that, you know what I'm saying? And that's down for me, and I love her, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want the world to know that, I'm definitely not single. I've been single for a while, but I'm definitely no longer. And I'm very content with the woman that I'm with. And she's a Black militant. She's boots on the ground where she's at. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about she's involved with everything for us finding missing children to protesting to defending Black women who are dealing with aggravated from domestic violence and assaults and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So my sister, my queen is a reflection of me,
Hey, bro. And we gonna link up, brother, because we got.
But I do got single brothers that I can link. I do got single Black militants who are sincere and genuine that if sisters are looking forward to linking up with, that I can introduce them to that will, treat them as such.
Hey, brother, before I let you have the final word, brother, I was feeling your energy. And so I got to show mine. This is me and my baby. My baby. I
already know, man. You be booed up, man. Hey, I I base my relationship goals based off of your pictures off of social media.
Man, go ahead,
You know,
man. Hey, Rakim, you know, man, in order to really get through this fight of struggle of liberating our people, regardless of the path that we take, you have to have a sister on the same page and ready to make the same equal or greater sacrifice.
you
And that's
do.
what I got.
They gotta be a reflection of you. If they're not, then it's just gonna be a distraction.
And let me tell you something. For the brothers out there who like to cheat and play around, get a full 100% rounded sister. You ain't gonna think about it. So I tell you.
Yeah, but you gotta be 100% and full rounded brother. You know what I'm saying? Because we got brothers who represent our image, but they're not really about our principles and things of that nature, and they're burning these sisters.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And so it's giving them bad influence. You know, so we got to challenge, you know, we amongst, you know, before we date and get involved, we just got to make sure we heal from our previous experience and just from ourselves, period. You know, that's the only way we could be able to move forward and build this nation of our people. Ashe.
So, brother, anything you want to say in closing, brother? When are you planning to do your podcast? Because I'm gonna keep you on point. I'm gonna be coming at you like, brother, this week.
Woo!
Yeah, because I'm gonna be looking forward to it. Because I don't listen, I don't watch. One thing, I don't watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot. You know, I work a lot. I'm with my family a lot. I teach Moorish science. I'm with the Moors a lot, but I don't put anything into my psyche. You see what I'm saying? And so,
well,
your podcast is something that I would be interested in. I 1,000% know this for sure.
Well, Brother Bay, I actually got like something I really need to talk to you about. And we maybe need to do it off screen, but it's something that you would definitely like. And I think this is something you're going to definitely move forward on. And this is definitely a great opportunity for brothers like yourself and brothers like myself as well. And so that's one of the things in play. One of the things in play is one of my comrades, and his name is Ramad. This brother's from North Carolina, but you know, he's definitely been a supporter of the movement. He supported Guerrilla Mainframe, UP Doing Gun Club, the different RPG movements, and et cetera, et cetera. But he created his own platform off of Roku called Revolutionary Broadcasting Group. So if you have Roku, go and locate Revolutionary Broadcasting Group. And so with this platform, he'll be able to stream independent Black broadcasting. So we're going to make some things happen.
Let's get it, bro. You know, the thing is that I always try to, even in within the Moorish groups like that I'm a part of and that I'm spearheading, that I'm leading, I'm like, you know, if you got talent, if you got personality, if you got appeal, you know, what I need everyone to do is to flood the social media, flood the market, flood the network with our concepts of liberation, regardless. And one thing about the Moors, we have been put into a box, but liberation, we've been put into a box. Liberation is liberation. It comes in a lot of different forms. It comes in a lot, but one thing it has to be, you got to fight force with force, whether it's intellectual force, whether it's physical force. You have to fight force with force. And so regardless of how it comes, it got to come legitimate and it got to be real and force with force. And that's what I'm with, brother. So even on the media front, we got to flood with the truth. Or the falsehood is going to have wings. It's going to have legs. And our people that really don't know any better, they're going to follow the falsehood.
Right. They definitely will. So that's why brothers like yourself, you know, got to keep this going. People got to keep supporting you. You know what I'm saying? And we got to continue to identify what's real and what's fake. And I appreciate you for that. I'm definitely humbled to be on here. It's definitely an honor. You know, this is something that you've reached out to me. I'm definitely thankful for you being patient throughout this endeavor, trying to
Yeah.
get me here. Cause I'm gonna tell you, man, I work for Amazon. Okay, I do construction for Amazon. Jeff Bezos, he's about his bag, man. And unfortunately, I cannot be an entrepreneur. I cannot have a black business currently going on with all the stuff that I got going on in my life. So unfortunately, I have to rely on the beast and the capitalist to be able to defend. I mean, to be able to provide for my family, protect and provide. So I appreciate you for just being very patient with this because, man, I literally been working 7 days a week, you know, like 14-hour, 13-hour shifts, you know, to be able to just be able to provide for myself and try to secure some type of freedom and things of that nature. And so, you know, you've been patient about it. I know a lot of people would have probably been like, man, this dude's just straight bullshit. There's no way that
Hey,
he
bro.
has no window or time, but that's really been the case. You know,
Hey,
I can
bro, let
damn
me
near
tell you something.
show you my hours.
Hey, bro, I can tell you this, and then I'll let you close us out. I always tell people when people get mad at me because they can't get in contact with me or I don't get back to them on time and they get really upset. And I tell people all the time, busy, understand busy. Those who have nothing to do will get mad at people who have something to do. Think about that. They ain't got
Right.
nothing to do but worry about why didn't you get back to them. But if they're busy, they don't have time to worry about why didn't you get back. We gonna connect because one thing about spirit, one thing's about energy, energies are going to connect. So we're going to understand without the verbal communication. Busy will understand busy. So I was just waiting, like, yeah, okay. And when you told me, brother, I'm off all day, such and such, I was like, got it. Let's get it. And so until next time, brother, I'll let you have the last word.
Hey, you know, as usual, you know, I'm gonna say it as usual, black power and gunpowder, you know, forward ever, backwards never. You know, please make sure that as we continue to move forward, that we do take on the guidance and the direction that our ancestors, our prolific ancestors have left for us, such as people such as Huey P. Newton, people such as Geronimo Pratt, people such as, you know, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, and et cetera, et cetera. We have numerous ancestors from numerous backgrounds, from different perspectives. We must study and retain this information and understand. We understand Sankofa. We must reach back and grab it because you don't know your past. You don't know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand what's the reactionary shit and separate that shit from the real revolutionary shit. We got to understand that Huey P. Newton, you know, they had to fight against the Paper Panthers when they had a situation with dealing with Malcolm X's wife. You know, when they had to, you know, guard and provide protection for her. You know, so we got to understand the things that's happening today. It's not nothing new. We got to stay vigilant. We got to understand COINTELPRO has not went nowhere. If anything, it evolved and changed its name. And we got to keep our head on the swivel and be critical of everything. Be critical of me first and foremost. Peace and black power. I love y'all. And just know that I will always be a servant for our community. Peace and power.
Peace, my brother. Peace, my brother. And I'll be hitting you on the back end so we can talk. Hopefully, we can catch a few words tomorrow and talk about what you was talking about on the show. Peace.
Peace and power, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate
Been
you.
an honor.
Appreciate you. So, family, as I go, family, I gotta let you know I think this interview was, as Sister Love Queen say, the show was priceless. With that being said, family, if you see the link for the Cash App and you can donate $1, $2 with all the people that watches these videos sometimes go up to 10,000, 15,000 views. $1 a piece will help the channel, will help the brother. That's if you're able. Don't worry about if it's $1. Don't worry about if it's $2. You know what I mean? Look out. You know, these are true freedom fighters. These are not this brother here. He's not a celebrity camera chaser. I'm not a camera chaser. I just want to be in front of the camera so I can get you the real information, get you something to compare the information to. While everybody else on social media trying to beguile, mislead you, misguide you, and fool you, I just want to give you something to compare to. And we have been able to bring the receipts of a brother who is a true freedom fighter, who went to the Bing for his premises and his position on freedom fighting. And so, with that being said, family, y'all need to, if you will, if you're able to, show some support to that. Tomorrow night, I got you, NYC Rider. Tell him to link up. I got him. Thank you, my brother King T. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be having Crystal Muhammad on the show. And family, we may be getting into some serious waters tomorrow. We're going to talk about the split and the factions. If it's not tomorrow, I'll confirm with a flyer by 3:00 tomorrow. But we're going to be talking about the split so we can get a better understanding of the new Black Panther Party, because I've been getting a lot of calls. We got some people mad at Sister Crystal Muhammad, but Sister Crystal Muhammad has not said anything wrong. She's only told us a part of the history. And for those who don't want her to tell the history of the organization which she is the leader of, obviously, they might be trying to hide something. I don't know. But I'm ready to hear the true history of the Black Panther Party from beginning to end, and the connection to the new Black Panther Party from beginning to end, so we know in our neighborhood who's who. Just what it is. And sis is ready to bring it 1,000. 1,000. The sister dope. She does not pull any, she don't cut no cards. She don't cut no corners. And it's good because we need to know who with us and who's not. And if those disagree with Sister Crystal Muhammad, you're welcome to come up here and say what you feel needs to be said. But it's not going to be conjecture. It's not going to be cursing out. We are all civilized people, and we just want to know the history so we know who's who in our community. You feel me? Somebody say too late, too late. Krista dropped the Moab. Yeah, she dropped the mother of all bombs, but she's about the whole show. Like we was talking about, in fact, and we were talking about the formation. She was talking about solidarity. This next show is talking about the organization of the new Black Panther Party, how it came into inception. Do the original Black Panther Party support the new Black Panther Party? If so, who does support the new Black Panther Party? You know, who doesn't support? How many factions is it? That's what we're going to be talking about. If not tomorrow, we will be on it Tuesday. You'll know by 3:00 tomorrow after I try to coordinate with the sister. And then I'm going to reach back out to Kendrick and see if we can get him in this week, if he ain't mad at me because of my delay. It was my fault. I was delayed. You know what I mean? But with that being said, I'll reach out to Kendrick. Hopefully he'll come back. But it was my fault. I was busy. But we'll give it another shot. With that being said, peace and love, family. Thanks for all your support. And we'll see you either tomorrow or Tuesday. Thank you for Sister Dolores Taylor. It is what it is. We are in this fight together, family. You know what I mean? We're in this fight together. Peace and love.